So like, you ever have one of those movies that you know you've seen, you swear it's real, but like some kind of Mandela effect interdimensional wormhole shenanigans happened and like no one else has ever heard of it? That's how I felt about Sky High, actually, although turns out I was wrong about that. But Zathura, the official sequel to Jumanji, is another one of those. This movie came out in 2005, directed by Jon Favreau, of all people. He made this one right after he made Elf. This man's had a heck of a career. Although he himself doesn't really think of this movie as a sequel to Jumanji because apparently he just has this insatiable, vehement hatred for that movie. I don't want to mislead people to think this is a sequel, whether you liked the first movie and hope to see more of it, or didn't like it and wouldn't want to see anything related to it. Favreau is decidedly in the latter camp, saying Jumanji went down a lot of dead ends, got too complicated, and was a little inconsistent tonally. Why do you hate my childhood, John? Anyway, so Zathura, the 2005 movie based on the 2002 book written by the same guy who wrote the original 1981 Jumanji book. I haven't seen this movie since it came out, and I'm still not totally convinced that it was even real to begin with, okay? But hey, what do you say we check it out? Come along, kids, let's take a walk. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Odoo. If you run any kind of business, you probably have like way too many apps to juggle and way too many dumb buzzwords people say to sound professional. Now, I can't really help you with the second issue, but for organizing your business apps, this is where Odoo comes in. They have an all-in-one suite that combines all the annoying parts of running a business into one unified platform. Your first application is free for life with unlimited hosting and support, so you too can learn all that dumb, soul-sucking business jargon you'll ever need. But the best thing for most of you watching, probably, is the free website builder. You can build a website for your business or for fun. I don't know, live your dreams, kids. I mean, you gotta show off all that sweet Shrek fanfic somewhere, am I right? And you don't even have to spend a single cent. Just use their AI to help you get started. And like I said, it's totally free and super easy to use. All you gotta do is start with their AI prompt to tell it what kind of website you're building, what it's for, and then it's gonna spit out a great place for you to start. And then drag and drop, customize it how you want, you're good to go. Throw in a couple pictures of Shrek, you know, cause I mean, what else you gonna do? Check my link down below in the description for how you can get started with Odoo for free. Okay, back to the show. First thing, the movie has the coolest intro of all time, okay? Showing off the board game itself with the full, complete practical effects. Like this is so awesome right here. Anyway, so we meet our two main characters, Danny and Walter.
Nice grab. All right, Danny, your turn.
What? I didn't get my full turn. That's not fair.
It's exactly fair. Come on, Danny. Time for your turn, then I gotta work for an hour.
No, you're not the only one who gets a turn.
You know, shout out to Josh Hutcherson for having his entire childhood movie career be just about dysfunctional family issues. But I mean, hey, this time I get it though, because if I was 10 years old in 2005 and my name was Walter, like, I mean, instant Batman villain, you know what I'm saying? So Walter doesn't get along with his little brother Danny, like, at all.
Deep fly ball to right field. Clemente back, running on his horse real fast. Can he get it? Can he get it?
Oh, Milton Bradley with the dive and roll catch. Dodgers win! You're such a dick.
But we see that Walter really just wants to hang out with his dad, but that doesn't happen so much anymore because his dad's always busy.
Wanna play catch?
We just played catch.
No, football catch.
I have to work for an hour.
But it's Saturday.
Tell me about it.
All you ever do is work.
Nice try.
So unfair.
Hey, come on, it's a tough job making cartoons about making fun of kids' movies, okay? I'm practically working in the salt mines over here. So the story goes that Walter's parents are divorced, and it seems like it's kind of recent because they're still trying to figure out, like, the custody schedule. And Walter just wants to play catch with his dad, who's always working all the time.
I have to work.
We'd have all the time we wanted if Danny wasn't around.
Danny is around.
All right, bye, Ferris.
How do I put this? Let me think. I have to work.
Dad, I'm ready to play Smash Brothers.
Sir, those are PS2 controllers, okay? You can't fool me. The only Smash Brothers you're gonna be playing are The Adventures of Cookie and Cream, made by the same dudes who would go on to make Elden Ring. And so yet again, this erupts into a huge fight.
What? You told me to play Smash Brothers?
I didn't tell him I was gonna play Smash Brothers.
You were playing catch with Walter?
You might if you weren't around.
That's so mean.
Guys.
Everybody wants to ruin my life.
Oh, I hear that one, Danny. Just the other day, all the self-checkouts were full, so I had to go and talk to a person? It's a conspiracy against me, I tell you what. The only thing worse than that would be like if I was a dog sitting there with one of my ears turned inside out and I didn't even know. Absolute travesty. So because of all the constant fighting, the dad decides he needs to go into the office instead of wasting his time hanging out with his young, impressionable kids. Ew, yuck, gross. Thus, he has no choice but to wake up Lisa.
Lisa, honey, get up. I need to go out. I need you to look after your two favorite people in the world. Come on.
I can't. I have a date tonight.
Kristen Stewart's in this movie? Since when? Why does she look exactly the same? Like, she's had the same exact face for like 20 years. Which is even more interesting when you compare this to like Taylor Lautner from Shark Boy and Lava Girl just 1 year before this, because like, oh man. Oh, puberty hit this dude so hard by 2008. So Lisa's the older sister, and she's way too cool to hang out with her dumb little brothers, okay? And you can tell how cool she is because of how many wristbands she has on.
We're hooking up at like 8.
It's 2.
So,
that's 6 hours from now.
what's your point?
My point is I need you to look after the boys. By the way, it makes me uncomfortable when you say hooking up.
Why? It's not like it means anything.
She's too cool for emotional attachment.
Feelings are dumb. And so the dad leaves and Lisa goes back to sleep, and Walter and Danny are left on their own to do who knows what for the next who knows how long.
Hey!
That's in our video games.
Fine.
This is... Man, like, having 3 older brothers myself, like, I relate to this kid so hard. Like, it'll just be some random Saturday, you know, and it's like, oh, what's that? You're having fun being happy? Not anymore! But clearly, Walter's just transferring his feelings of abandonment from his dad onto Danny because he feels like Danny is partly to blame for the divorce. And I know this because I took, like, one psych class, okay? So, yeah, I'm kind of an expert.
Walter, look what I found.
Those belong to me, put them back.
But you never play with them.
So they're still mine.
When did you get so mean?
I'm not mean, Danny. I'm in 4th grade. I have a girlfriend.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I didn't realize I was talking to Mr. Sigma Epsilon male over here. Yeah, I have a girlfriend. We went to a football game together and I ignored her the entire time. So like, yeah, things are getting pretty serious. But anyway, so like 12 fights later, Walter locks Danny in the basement as punishment for existing. And here Danny finds something that will change his life forever. So he takes it upstairs and he's like, Walter, look what I found. And Walter's like, shut up, Danny, I'm watching Flavor of Love on VH1. Well, fine, I'll play by myself. And so he does. He turns the key and pushes the button and some kind of card pops out.
Read this for me.
Meteor shower, take evasive action.
What's evasive action?
It's when you get out of the way of something.
What exactly am I supposed to get out of the way of exactly?
I have no idea. All it says is take evasive action.
And then within seconds, the entire living room is being bombarded with meteors. So if you've seen Jumanji before, like the original movie, I mean, you pretty much get the idea. They play the game, and whatever cards come out, they affect the real world around them. And part of this whole thing is that their house gets sent up into space.
Walter, check this out.
And then their heads explode, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. Thanks for watching, everybody. So they try to tell Lisa what's going on because she's like the grown-up in the house, kind of. But she literally does not care whatsoever.
If this is some weird kind of joke you guys are trying to pull, you're dead.
No, it's not a joke. Here, watch this. Watch this. Here.
Okay, shipmate enters cryonic sleep chamber for 5 turns.
Yeah, so turns out Kristen Stewart's basically asleep in some way or another for the entire movie. Really good practice for her upcoming role in Twilight. You know, like the casting director saw this exact scene and it was like, ah, yes, perfect, exactly. And so Walter and Danny continue to play the game because as the game box itself tells them, the only way to reset everything back to normal is to finish the game. But of course, in the meantime, they're being attacked by Zorgons, or they're entering gravitational fields, or they're fighting evil robots.
Emergency. Emergency.
Oh, look at this little Ming. Why is it so small? What do you think you're gonna do over there by yourself?
You're a robot. You don't have to be such a jerk. Dude, you're just jealous because I have a robot and you don't. Why would I want...
Emergency.
Well. Whoops. How does it start so small and get so big? Always a mystery. And then at one point they rescue this astronaut dude floating in space.
Which one of you spun me?
So, with the help of Kristen Bell's husband, of all people, they work together to stop the Zonkelbonks by turning off all electricity and fire and heat and everything. And while they do this, we learn a little backstory about who this guy is and why he's floating in space.
And you're running low on supplies.
Yeah, I know you're eating it all.
Well, as I recall, the card said, rescue stranded astronaut. It looks to me like I'm the only one that's done any rescuing, so I don't think a couple Dagwood sandwiches is too much to ask for. I passed through a time sphincter to get here.
A what? Now later on, Walter pulls out a golden Make-A-Wish card, and so as this white star thing passes by, he gets to wish for anything he wants. But seeing how much he and Danny are fighting all the time, the astronaut guy is kind of worried about what Walter might wish for, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't wish what you're thinking.
You don't know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, I can tell it ain't good.
Apropos of nothing, I wish that Lopunny from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was real, but don't ask why, okay? Now actually, Walter just wishes for a football signed by Brett Favre. The reason the astronaut was so worried is because years ago, he also played this game, and he wished that his brother would disappear. And not only was this kind of rude, but also it meant that he couldn't finish the game anymore, thus he was stuck inside of it forever.
I've played this game before. I played it with my own brother 15 years ago. We were fighting a lot back then. Every time we spun, we got madder and madder at one another. And then I landed on the star space. I wish that my brother had never been born.
Now, the final stretch of the movie is that the Zingeldongs end up stealing the game board, so Walter and friends end up making a huge fire in the house to try and draw them back. By this point, Lisa has been unfrozen and puts on her 8 layers of Abercrombie shirts and 13 Hot Topic wristbands to go see what the fire smell is when she runs into the astronaut guy.
Whoa, hey. Just stay with us, and everything will be okay.
I'll never leave you.
Oh, to be 13 and just helplessly fall in love with every semi-attractive person you see. I definitely did not keep doing that into my 30s, okay? Why would you say that? Anyway, so long story short, the only way to get the game board back is to send Danny onto the spaceship because he's the only one who's so small that he can fit into the opening and stuff.
It's just a go. It's just a go. It's just
What the heck is that? And so he sneaks onto the alien ship and takes the board game back, and this is when Walter realizes that maybe little brothers aren't so bad after all.
Walter! Told you I wouldn't let anything happen to you.
My dude, you tried to murder this kid 45 minutes ago. But yeah, so now they have the game board back, and Walter once again pulls a Make-A-Wish card, but this time his wish is a little different. He makes a wish that the astronaut guy would get his brother back, because, like I said, Walter's kind of come around on the whole little brother idea.
Thanks for helping us out. I wish the astronaut had his brother back.
Hey man, you ever wonder sometimes what is skateboard?
You wished for 2 of me?
That's right, everybody. Turns out, in a crazy plot twist, the astronaut is actually Walter from the future past, where he played the game before and got so mad at Danny that he wished that he'd never been born. And then at some point, he entered a time rectum or whatever he said, and came back to help his younger self finish the game. And now the timelines have finally merged back into one.
You did better than I did.
Thanks.
Make sure he gets home safe, okay?
Oh no, he's anamorphing! Quick, someone call the Scholastic Book Fair! And so at the end of the movie, Danny's the one who rolls the winning move, and they finally make it to Zathura, which is a giant black hole that absorbs everything and resets the whole world back to how it was.
Walter, don't push that button.
Don't Push That Button was filmed in front of a live studio audience. So it turns out everything was real and actually happened, and they all remember the whole thing.
We never speak of this, okay?
Never happened.
Never happened. Still think I have gorgeous eyes?
Yeah, that was a heck of a choice to put in this movie. But you know, I always have this thought when I watch stuff like this movie or like the Narnia movies or even like play games like Persona or whatever, where it's like, how are you supposed to go back to a normal life after knowing what you know? Like these kids just fought alien King Koopa Bowsers and then they got sucked into a giant black hole and they're just supposed to like go play dodgeball at recess now? Or like I said with the Persona games where it's like every god, angel, and demon is real and there's an alternate dimension that opens up at midnight and then you're just supposed to like go to math class every day? Like, excuse me?
I distinctly remember asking you guys not to kill each other.
Dad, it was so awesome. There was this game, and then we went to outer space, and everything got wrecked, and we almost had to stay there forever. And I saw myself older.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, the dad, right. Remember that whole thing? That's another thing about this movie that's so weird to me. Like the entire beginning of the movie is about how the dad is always working and they're divorced, probably because he's always working, and Walter feels like he's being abandoned because his dad's always working. And like normally you'd think the moral of the movie would be about how the dad comes to realize that he should spend more time with his kids and there's more to life than just working all the time. But no, the movie's actually just about how these kids need to learn to get along so they can leave their workaholic dad alone. Like, it's like Don't Wake Daddy, the movie. Like, what a weird message for kids. But you know, all in all, I think the movie actually holds up a lot better than I thought it would. I remember thinking this was really dumb at the time, but I was also 16 and had like way more important things to do. You know, like telling girls that I would never treat you the way your boyfriend does. You should break up with him and date me instead.
When did you get so mean? I'm not mean, Danny. I'm in 4th grade. I have a girlfriend.
Oh yeah, well freaking brag about it, bro. So like, to be fair, it doesn't have nearly the same amount of like soul as the original Jumanji does. But for what it is, I actually think it's pretty alright. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please watch another one, because that's how the algorithm works. So click on this one that's being recommended to you right now, right here on the screen. It actually helps a lot if you do that, because like that's how YouTube knows that my videos are worth caring about. Also, if you have any movies or TV shows you'd like to recommend, send me an email at alexmeyerscontact@gmail.com and I'll put them on my absurdly long list of movies that I need to get to at some point. Anyway, hope I made your day a little bit better, and I'll see you all next time.